Hello, everyone. I'm Shanna Groves, also known as Lip Reading Mom, today to welcome you to Definitely Talking podcast. Our guest today is Meryl Evans. Meryl is an international speaker, author, and consultant who specializes in accessibility and inclusive marketing. She was born profoundly deaf and has a lived experience and deep expertise to every stage and screen, which that'll be vital, those words, in just a few minutes. She's delivered talks to TEDx, the SXSW or the Southwest Film Festival, and major industry events. She's also known for making accessibility practical, actionable, and human. She's authored and contributed to numerous publications, including Design for All Learners, Create Accessible and Inclusive Learning Experiences. And her insights have been featured on the Wall Street Journal, Morning Brew, Adweek, Ad Age, and the Dallas Morning News. Meryl is also from Texas. She is a certified professional in accessibility, core competencies, and on LinkedIn, she's considered a top voice. She has helped many organizations fix friction and build more inclusive experiences from the inside out. Welcome, Meryl.
Thank you for having me, Shanna. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, so glad to have you here. All right. Well, a lot of your work intro does give us an kind of an idea of what your day job is. But if you could share a little bit more for our listeners and our viewers, the accessibility work that you do.
It's funny, one of my strengths is communication and writing, and yet I always struggle to come up with a good elevator speech that makes sense. But right now, what I tell people is I speak to and train teams on how to make the content, communication, and processes more inclusive without adding extra work. I try to change how they think about accessibility by showing how to improve the user experience for everybody. And I collaborate with teams of known brands to do UX testing, user experience testing of design, and co-create better products and workflows and fix the stuff that slows people down or makes for a bad experience. And I also equip teams to communicate clearly, work smarter, and include more people from the beginning. So, in short, I do speaking, training, consulting in marketing and communication and accessibility.
Well, I could tell from your lived experience that we both have deafness, and that lived experience is very important. And you know how frustrating it can be to go to an inaccessible website or videos that do not have captioning or transcription. Basically, you're leaving out a percentage of your audience right there by not making the content accessible. If you have any advice for content creators out there who are watching or listening in order to help them understand the importance of accessibility, what advice or suggestion would you give them?
Accessibility is not hard. A lot of the accessibility everybody can do is really easy. People are surprised by the little things that can make a big difference. I mean, obviously we know about captions, but we can also make our content look better, our text look better, make better color choices. And a lot of people don't even watch the video with sound on. So you are reaching way more people when you caption your videos and follow captioning best practices, not making them flashy. Captions are meant to be boring. They're not meant to be flashy because the whole point is to let people know what you're talking about, but not take away from the video, not take away from the message. And that's what happens when you use flashy caption. 80% of the people who use caption are not deaf or hard of hearing. So you really grow your audience when you caption your videos accurately and follow best practices.
Oh my goodness. I can think of so many reasons why people who are not deaf or hard of hearing use captions. I'm thinking that they might be an English language learner. If the podcast or the video is spoken in English language, but it has captions in different languages that you can have it translated. That's one. And also, you might be in a public setting and not able to use earbuds or headphones, and so you got to go with no audio and captions only. And then there's some of us who like to watch content late at night and not keep our spouses up. So we turn the volume way down. Of course, for you and I, the volume's always way down just because we're deaf. But if we have those captions there, it adds an extra layer of us being able to access it at any time and any setting. It just makes content more versatile. What do you think about that?
Exactly. And sometimes the audio quality is not good and people can't make out, or somebody's on a spotty network and the sound's not coming through. I mean, oh my gosh, there's just so many reasons for having caption, and they've gotten so much easier to do. Every year in the last 5 years, they've really made the job easier for all of us. The AI, the app, the software, the app, all the companies that make captioning tools and have made our job easier. So there's no reason to do it. And there's no reason not to edit them. So many people just let AI, artificial intelligence, or the app do the caption and then leave them alone. But they will always have mistakes. So but they've saved you a lot of time already. So you just have to do them a few tweaks.
A few tweaks. Okay, I'll give a perfect example. And I may have to spell out these words because you and I are both using captions, and captions can misinterpret these two words. I know you'll understand this, Meryl. Deaf, DEAF, and death, DEATH. So right now we're looking at captions and it's calling deaf with an F as death with a TH. And death, where somebody passes away, is being spelled as depth, DEPTH. Someone who is not familiar with the subject and starts reading these captions will be lost because we are talking about hearing loss and deafness, not someone dying.
Yeah, it's a very, two very, very distinctive words and two loaded words because deafness and deaf are big words for some people. It's just everybody's on their own journey, right? And then, of course, death is always the emotional topic for a lot of people. So it's just banana. And I remember, I mean, I'll have people ask me, are you deaf? And I'll say, yeah. Everybody gets the joke, but yeah. And then they don't forget.
Okay, that is so appropriate. I swear, I'm going to start singing the Monster Mash right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, wow. Speaking of performing, we're going to segue into something that you are very passionate about. It is something that you do when you are not part of your day job, and that is performing arts. Now, I understand, Meryl, that you do stage work, that you perform. Can you tell us a little bit more about your acting, your performing, and also how you make the stage experience accessible to you with having a deafness?
Oh my goodness, we need a lot of time for that because I can easily get carried away on this topic. Well, first of all, the organization that made me become a board member, that's a volunteer role, and a volunteer is because they gave me not one, not two, but three invitations. That's what it takes to build inclusiveness. You have to repeat, repeat, repeat. Anyway, so I am doing my ninth, 10th, and 11th shows with this organization, and I perform in mostly musicals. Yes, musicals. Me, but don't worry, I don't sing because I want not want to insult the audience, but I love it so much. It is cheaper than therapy. It helped me get through a very, very difficult time in my life this year when my sister passed away in the middle of Tech Week for Camelot. And what's so cool about the organization is they do what they can to make things accessible. I mean, they are a nonprofit organization, so they're not loaded with money. I mean, I wish they were because we've got things that need to be fixed and, that kind of thing. Anyway, we, for our community theater, which is our all age family theater troupe, we typically have an ASL interpreter for at least one show, one performance for all of them. And then we also do caption for at least one show for all the community theaters, or most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So yes, and the caption costs zero. It's all volunteer time. But the way we do it is we put the script into slides, and all the volunteer has to do is push the key to change slides. So the downside is if actors ad lib or say anything that's not in the script, we won't get it. But as somebody who depends on caption in theater, I'm okay with that because I am getting exactly what's in the script. And I'll understand the story, I'll see the song lyrics, and it's in sync because a live captioner will be a little behind. After all, they have to listen first before they can type. So this is the way to be in sync. It's a great way to be in sync, but it won't be perfect because of the ad-libbing. But the ESL interpreters we pay for. So we do our best to accommodate as many people as possible. And last year I created the first accessible playbill. What I did was I took the graphical version and made it plain text with HTML and put it online. And so people could scan the QR code and get the playbill. No images. And we described the set of the show because I had that information in time. And one of my friends who's blind was so appreciative. And her husband was trying to tell her something about the show. And she said, oh, be quiet, I've got it all in the playbill. So that was really made my day. And so I try to make them accessible and passable.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, Meryl, how long have you been doing theater?
Well, with the organization in 2023, I did my first drama class in eighth grade, and I took drama again in high school, and then I did one play as an adult after graduation, after college, and then nothing until 2 years ago. And now I've done 6 shows this year.
It goes to show that those of us who can't hear, we can do anything except hear. And even for some
Exactly.
of us, like that have cochlear implants or hearing aids, we can even use technology to help us hear. But there's no excuse for us who can't hear to say, well, that I can't do that or I can't do this. If you have the passion and you have accessibility in place or people who are willing to learn about accessibility, they can do what you're doing. If they're passionate about acting or singing or music or visual arts, it's all a matter of attitude, I think. And you have a great attitude about all of it.
Exactly. And we also consider mobility disability. One of my favorite stories to tell is the Camelot. We had a working bridge that went down and up. And but at the end of the bridge, I mean, it was just this thick. It wasn't that thick. I mean, and it's not a big deal if you're on roller skates. It's a little bump, but not like a curb. A curb is about this big. It took 8 inches, but this was about 1 to 2 inches, about maybe 1.5, roughly. And my spouse built a ramp, so it would be accessible to anybody who had wheels or crutches or whatever. And that just was really special because we care about accessibility for everybody, not just for deaf people as well. And we also have a deaf troupe, and they do a lot of shows and funding and stuff. And we have a star catcher troupe, which is other disabilities, especially IDD, intellectual and developmental disabilities. They caption all those shows, and the kids, if they want one, they can get a performance partner. They're not all kids. A lot of them are adults. Sorry, I just the kids out of habit. I say that about everybody. Everybody, we're all kids. Anyway, so so I really appreciate that. But while I may not be able to hear, I can't sing. There is just no hope in me ever learning to sing because I have no sense of notes at all. So I can't match notes. So I'm never going to be able to do that. I accept that, and that's fine. Yeah, I get a little jealous, but it would take hours and hours of a day job to be able to eventually learn, maybe, but I don't have that kind of time.
Absolutely. There are many ways to perform besides just with the voice. Your body language, your facial expressions, how you move on the stage. And I'm so glad that when you were talking about accessibility, that you brought up intellectual disabilities and mobility disabilities, that those are, for a lot of people, seem to be more visible or apparent disabilities, hearing loss, or other non-apparent disabilities. We don't always consider them, but it's nice that you are keeping in mind people beyond yourself when you are trying to make
Absolutely.
this an accessible experience. It's not just about what is in it for me, but what is in it for all of us. And I think that you've really opened doors, at least in your community and elsewhere, because you have such a global influence to inspire people in their communities to make these type of events more accessible for all disabilities.
Yeah, we try. We try. It's a team effort, and it's not just me. They were already doing some of this stuff before I came, and I just helped them, do more of it. Well, put the idea in their head to do more of it, and it's just been great. Um, yeah.
I have to confess to you, Meryl, that when I was in high school and college, I also did theater. I did competitive theater and also stage performance. And I also played in the band and I sang in the choir. I know, someone who's hard of hearing doing all of that. But like I said, I mean, we talked about this, that we need to break down those stereotypes about what we can and can't do. And listening to you today and learning from what your experience has been like is inspiring me to maybe give community theater a second thought because I really have been thinking about it.
Cool. Go for it. If it's something you're interested in, uh, you mentioned band, and I took piano lesson. I played the clarinet in band from
Nice.
fifth grade through ninth grade. You played the clarinet also?
We both played the clarinet. How many years
Oh,
did
that's
you
wild.
how many years did you play?
I played fifth through eighth grade. Oh, sorry, ninth grade. So 4 years.
Okay. I played 5th through 10th grade. And
Okay, so
then
5 years.
yes, and then the last 2 years I thought I was too cool for band. But I got involved in competitive theater. It started my junior and my
Okay,
senior year
right.
and into college. And so I went from one performing art to another,
To
and
another.
like you did too.
Yeah, well, I wasn't very good at band at all or piano, but it's not because I was deaf. It's because I didn't do something that was very important, practice. I hardly ever practiced. I just wasn't passionate about it. So,
Oh, oh, what? You weren't interested in those clarinet chair tests where you have to compete for where you're going to sit in the band because you're so good?
yeah. One time, one time in those 4 years, I got first chair and I got applauded. I must have practiced this one song really hard. and and I played it, and the class was clapping for me. I know it sounds like inspiration porn, the clapping but I think it was the fact that I stopped. I was so bad. I mean, not that bad, but um, I confess that whenever I was in band and we were playing a song, I would just move the fingers with the note, yeah, but I would not blow because I was terrified. I was out of sync. I was always worried because I had no way of knowing if I was in sync perfectly. And it wasn't my strength. It wasn't my passion. I'm sure if I was passionate about it,
Yeah.
it would be a different story. But that's my story. And that's why I put so much passion in theater, and I work really hard to learn the dances, and I have a whole process for that. But the funny thing is, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but my most memorable role so far, well, it was my first and only time in professional theater because I got paid. Not much, but I got paid, so I'm a professional. But it was a it was a character who did not speak one word. And the reason I say bad is because I'm like, I have to step acting, and yeah, my best role was when I didn't say a word. Not even moo as I played the cow, Milky White, into the world. But I have people coming up to me months later, when you Milky White? I'm like, yes, why do people remember on this one character? But so, like I said, it's a curse and a blessing at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to ask you next question, what is your superpower? And now I can say that you can play a cow. No, seriously.
I did not move once.
Seriously. Our last question, and this is a question that I end all our podcasts with, is if you could tell me what your superpower is or something that we haven't discussed today that you're really passionate about and that you're good at that maybe other people are aware.
Well, it's kind of a natural thing. I notice things. I notice the little thing. I notice if there's been something on the floor and nobody in my family is picking it up. And it's annoying because I'm like expecting the person who put it on the floor to pick it up. So I won't pick it up. And it's just bugging me and bugging me because I notice these things. And when things are out of their place, it just makes me bananas. But I so I am obsessively detail oriented to a fault. Like I said, it can bug me, especially when I see something that's not right and I can't fix it. I can't stop seeing the problem, but it allows me to spot friction facts, whether it's a clunky method, inaccessible content, or a processor not working. I can't not see it. And once I do, I educate and explain why it's the problem and why it needs to be fixed. That's just how my brain works. Heck, if I see somebody death, multi-death, I probably would fix it if they would let me. If they're a stranger, that's just how I roll.
Okay, maybe in another life you were a professional organizer.
Oh gosh. And I get overwhelmed. I mean, like if I walk into a room, like a garage, that's totally messy, I just can't move because it's just too much. So I need to have some. So it just depends. I can bring order to some chaos, not all chaos, you know. And I can do it with or without jazz hands.
Okay, you're coming over this weekend and you're going to help me organize my house.
Yes, totally. Not.
Okay, Meryl, this has been so much fun. Where can people find you? You're on LinkedIn. Are there other places that you can be found?
I can be found in Plano, Texas. Meryl.net, my website. So It's funny, I hated my name growing up because I have an R in the middle of it, and I really have a hard time saying R, words with R's in them. It's just, it's a struggle. It's just the way my diaphragm works. But it turned out to be a blessing because my name was uncommon that I have a website, Meryl.net, that's half a many years. My license plate says Meryl on it, and I do that because it keeps me honest on the road. Knowing somebody can say, oh, I saw Meryl did that turn, she shouldn't have. So having my name on the plate just reminds me not to do anything bad on the road because somebody will know it's me. Yeah.
Oh,
So hopefully whoever drives my car doesn't do bad stuff in my name.
you are so much fun. I wish that we lived in the same state. I'm way up in Kansas. I'll have to come visit you in Texas because there's so much to do there. And I used to live in Texas, but that's another story. But but yeehaw, the Lone Star State. It is great. Um, Thank you so much, Meryl, for taking the time to chat with me and to all of our viewers today of the Definitely Talking podcast. We thank you for being part of this conversation with us by watching and viewing. And yeah, hope you've learned something. Meryl is just available on all those different platforms she shared. And we hope that you have a good rest of your week. Take care.
Thank you.